It's officially fall. Things can be so busy when you're looking at back to school, holidays, just lots of things in the business world. This last 3 months can go so fast. If you're anything like me, you might be feeling the need to slow down a little bit. I just want to talk to you about a few things you can do that I've had some success with to maybe help feel like you're slowing down and reconnecting. I absolutely love the coziness of fall. I like that feeling of like hunkering down as it gets a little bit chillier. And I think that as crocheters or knitters, like fiber artists, I think we are in such a good position to really reconnect with our craft and just really slow down and experience life as it's happening. There can be so many different stresses and things pulling us from day to day. It can be hard to ground yourself. I'm working on a few things, and while I'm not an expert in any of these, I've been having a little bit of success. And it's funny because even though crochet or knit is like a cozy hobby, I feel like there can be a lot of pressure to produce a lot of results, especially this time of year as holidays are approaching. You might feel you need to make things for people. You might feel like you need to make home decor items for your home. And in the YouTube world, there's just so much focus on what we've made and what we've got accomplished and done and moving on to the next thing. So in and of itself, just being a crocheter isn't enough to totally keep me grounded. I use crochet a lot to just kind of help with my thoughts and try to bring myself into the moment and not get so anxious about other stuff going on. So the first thing I'm doing is giving myself permission to just take some time and just make items just for me. I don't think I'll be doing any Christmas gifts this year, and I know I won't be doing any Christmas decor this year. Not to say that I never will, but right now what I need to be able to slow down and really reconnect and ground is to only work on projects that really satisfy me and are really just the things that I really, really love doing. The second thing I am working on is not comparing myself to others in the YouTube space. So that can be pretty difficult, especially if you are a content creator and you just are used to seeing the massive amounts of things that people do. For me, sometimes it's seeing other people's videos where I'm just absolutely amazed at, like if it's a blanket or a wearable or whatever, and just the time frame that some people can get stuff done is absolutely amazing. But I am making a point to remind myself that there are so many different variables, and what I see on YouTube is not always the reality, and definitely not my reality. Everybody has so many different obligations and time available and all that other stuff that it's not remotely fair to compare myself, or it's just not really fair to use someone else's achievements as a benchmark for myself because there's so many different variables. So that's definitely something that I need to be reminded of. Third and final thing I am doing to really help ground myself this fall is kind of going back. I don't know if you'd say like going back to the roots or going back like in time. Thanks to a friend of mine, Sydney over at Sweet Pea Sid's Inspirations, she has really inspired me to start spinning some yarn. She does hers totally different. She's got an e-spinner and she has got like a full spinning wheel, like a modern one. And I decided to pick up a drop spindle because I've seen some of the yarn that she has produced. I actually even got her to sell me one. This is the one I bought from her right here. I just love the texture of it. I love the fact that it's just like 100% wool, and I love how it looks plied together. And while I still love commercial yarn and I'll continue to buy commercial yarn and use commercial yarn, there is something about this that feels so, I don't know if original is the right word, but it feels so, like, I feel like that, what is it, that, like, that Swedish word hygge, where it's like the feelings of warmth and coziness, and like where it just gives you all the feels. To me, this is inspiring when I look at this, and it makes me want to create, but I feel like it also takes me back in time to like a slower lifestyle, like a simpler lifestyle. And while I am fully aware of how easy we have it in the modern world, I think it is important, for me anyway, to kind of like regain a little bit of that knowledge and learn some of that history and really kind of get in touch with the historical past. That being said, I bought myself some very simple spinning supplies, and I have really been enjoying it so far. I have got quite a bit wound up on my drop spindle here, and if you are a drop spindle expert, you will probably know that this isn't very good. But this is my very first try, and I'm not going to be hard on myself. I am not expecting perfection. I pretty much knew going into this that I was going to make some not very high quality, not very attractive yarn, because I'm learning, and I am okay with that. I watched quite a few videos on the drop spindle and the technique. I am using the park and draft technique. Yeah, I just knew like it takes time to get used to the fiber. This is the very first time I've ever worked with like actual fiber. I mean, I have been loving this. So let me show you what I got. I will have links to all of these supplies. I got all of this off of Amazon. I do have, these will be like affiliate links if you want to get them. If you don't, that's totally cool too. You can probably find products that are probably nicer elsewhere, but I wanted something that was simple, that was pretty inexpensive, and I wanted to get into it, and I wanted something that would arrive quickly. So in the future, I will probably end up upgrading some of my supplies, and I am excited about doing that. But for someone with zero knowledge, I felt like this was a good base for me to start with. So this is the drop spindle that I got right here. Savina. I'm not sure if that's exactly how you say it or not. This was just over $20 when I bought it. So I didn't think that was bad at all. So it came in a nice protected box. You can't get the box open. And it did come with this like velvety foam. So it was in the 3 pieces, and there were instructions on how to assemble the 3 pieces. There are no instructions on how to spin with it, or just on how to put it together. I definitely felt like this was, I want to say it was like 22 bucks. I definitely thought it was worth the $22. I know you can make drop spindles yourself. There's a lot from like artists that have made them. There's beautiful ones, but for someone who was unsure if I would like it and just how I would do, this has been great so far. It has been easy to work with, and it's got it's just a simple wood. I'm not even sure if it says, yeah, I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but it just has like a nice light to medium finish on it, and it is finished. It's not unfinished. The wood is nice and smooth. There is nothing that is catching my fiber on it, and it has been plenty easy enough to work with. So the next thing I got was this fiber, and I went with this fiber because I kind of think, and I mean, if you know differently, definitely let me know down in the comments, but I kind of get the feeling Amazon is not the best place to buy fiber from. So there was some very expensive fibers on there, and as someone who knew that she would be making some ugly yarn to start with, I did not want to invest a lot. What I got was this Desert Breeze Distributing 100% natural roving cordal wool. And what's funny is, like, I had ordered this, and then the very next day I had to giggle because I was like, oh man, I should have waited another day. But Carrie Penny, who's the Happy Crafty homemaker, she did a video on like what cordal wool was and like comparing it. I was like, probably should have watched that first. But I know that Sydney has used this to make yarn out of. So I knew, it was fine. The 8 ounces, I believe I paid around $16 for this box right here. And as a newbie to buying fiber, it is so hard to know like how much fiber you're actually getting per ounce or whatever. So I opened the bottom of the box, and I have just been pulling some out little by little as I need it. I mean, it came in this roll right here, so I feel like there's a lot, and I've just been kind of doing like a center pull out of the middle, and then pulling it, like I will take a section, I will just take a section about like this big, and then I will actually go ahead and take it into like 3 different parts like this and use it starting from there. So it has been fun for me. It has been a little bit challenging to figure out like the draw of it and where to pull and how much to pull and how much to like pre-draw. Like these were all things that I am still learning and trying to learn, like how gentle I need to be pulling, things like that. But I have really been loving it. I've been surprised just like how easy it is to join it. I see the videos of the people who are like standing and it's just spinning and they're able to like use both hands up here and then spin, and it's like, I don't know, I want to be like that sometime. Like I feel like I want to go into like full Renfest mode and just be like spinning yarn. But like I said, I am working on the park and draw method. So that would be like when you give it a spin and then you put it like in your armpit or between your knees, and then you work on it and then bring it up and spin. I am pretty happy with that so far. And then I did get one other little tool I'll show you, and I have not used this yet. I probably really didn't need it yet, being like so early on the journey, but I got one of these little wooden tools where it kind of talks about like for you to size your yarn, like, is it a DK, is it a worsted, whatever, things like that, and just help you be able to label your yarn a little better. I have no intention on selling this. I do not know if I will even really be able to use this particular yarn. I believe I'll probably need to ply it. I need to like cake it up, like different things like that. But for now, I'm just enjoying practicing and feeling like it is slowing me down. I have talked a little bit about, buying yarn consciously, like purchasing with a purpose. And I'm feeling right now that by making some yarn, it's really kind of slowing down that desire for me to be going out and checking out like what the newest yarn is out there. I can see where it could be tempting to do the same thing with fiber. I can definitely see where that could just replace yarn. So that is something I will definitely need to be mindful about as well. But for now, I am absolutely loving this. I feel like very earthy. I feel very grounded having the sheep's wool in my hand and working it and turning it into the yarn. I don't know if you have had similar feelings to me as far as this goes, but if you feel like you just like want to get in touch a little more with your yarn roots, I would consider buying some inexpensive spinning supplies. I mean, I can already tell, like, I've kind of got like the little bit of that like what do you call it? Like I've got the bug or whatever. I just want to, like, I'm going to be honest. I have like been on Facebook Marketplace looking at spinning wheels. I'm not buying one yet. Definitely not buying one yet. But I can definitely see myself enjoying this a little bit more and just working with it. And like I said, just really being able to like connect with the fibers and just slow down, and maybe I won't have as much crochet done this winter. Maybe this winter will be like the winter of me really like fine-tuning these skills and working on this more. I'll have to see. Of course, I'll be very excited along the way. My channel is definitely not changing. Like this will not become like a new spinning channel or anything like that. But I would encourage you to maybe pick up some inexpensive supplies and give it a try if you feel anything like I do. Thank you so much for talking yarn with me, and I look forward to talking yarn again with you very soon. Bye.